What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mr. Almighty Lewis back at you with another video. Oh yeah, and today we're going to be exposing fake personal development pursuers and how you should stay away from these people, and you should not become one of these people either. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you comment down below if there's a specific topic that you want me to cover in this channel. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So, exposing fake personal development pursuers. So I have some of these right now in my life. Like, I literally am surrounded by people who pretend to be pursuing personal development, right? And you know, they go out there, they're putting out like positive quotes and stuff like that, maybe on their social medias. They're constantly posting like these inspirational things, you know, little stories, little quotes, little things here and there, right, that are supposed to be uplifting, right? But the thing is, these are what I call pretty much fake personal development pursuers, because I look at their life, you know, and they don't seem to be very happy with the life that they currently have, and they're pretty much just settling for what they have, and they think that just by settling, like, you can already start pursuing personal development from then on forward, and they think that just positivity is something that you can just, you know, you can just play around with and just pretty much put positivity out there and not actually live positivity, you know, yourself, and actually implement it in order to understand its true core. Because here's the thing about, you know, people who pursue personal development in the wrong way. So they pursue it, right, and they think that pretty much the personal development, the motivation and inspiration pretty much just stops at the knowledge. So, you know, once you are exposed to content that's related to personal development, you know, you start to feel a little bit pumped, you start to feel a little bit motivated, you start to feel like you're a little bit different than most people out there. You feel a little bit woken because, you know, you understand mechanics, you understand a little bit of psychology, you know, behind being positive and behind just being more, you know, productive and actualizing yourself. And believe me, you know, I've been there. You remember, I've studied personal development for over 6 years now, and I understand this subject really, really well. Not only that, but I'm a pretty natural person at this topic, and also I have a strong passion for it, which has led me to actually go out there and actually study these things. Not only study, but also implement most of the things that, you know, I've studied, because it's not enough to just know and have the knowledge in your brain of personal development. You actually have to go and implement it and put yourself on the line. And this is really the difference between someone who pursues personal development the right way and someone who does it just to, you know, feel better about themselves and, you know, pretty much lie to the world that they're living a positive life and encouraging everybody to live the positive life, and pretty much pushing other people, you know, beyond their limits, beyond their boundaries to achieve what they want. But they themselves don't do that. And so this is my big problem here, especially with the people that I have around me, because I can smell this. I can see it. Like, I can see right through, you know, through their words, because, you know, anybody can craft a very good speech. Anybody can craft, you know, something really well. You know, they can script something that sounds really nice. They can repeat something over and over again to the point, to the degree where it comes off as though, okay, you know what, this person knows what they're talking about. This person's very smart at that particular subject, and anybody can really do that. And so I don't really look at that. What I look at is the life of the person. Is this person living the life that, you know, I aspire to live at some point? And second of all, you know, looking at their lives, are they really happy with it? Do they look like they're enjoying what they're doing? And for the most part, they don't look like they're enjoying what they're doing, because for the most part, they complain about, you know, whatever is going on around them. They complain about this and this and that. And then they try to just cover that up with positivity, you know, like, oh, it's going to be all right, it's going to be okay, oh, this, that, you know, I have this, I have that, you know. They put excuses, you know, to pretty much cover for, you know, whatever is going wrong with them in their lives, and they pretty much just settle for what they currently have and what's currently going on. And that, to me, is pretty fake, because you're not actually putting in the work. You're not actually going out there and implementing the personal development that's really available to you. What you're doing is that you're just settling, and you're letting that personal development sort of serve as some sort of comfort for yourself, so that you feel better about yourself, that you're actually, you know, doing something. But the reality is you're not doing anything. And so these people, you got to stay away from them. If you find yourself, you as an introvert, you find yourself surrounded by people who, and this is more common, of course, with extroverts, because extroverts, you know, like I said, they just love to talk. And so as soon as they know a little bit about some subject, they feel like they're experts at that particular subject. And so they go out there and they start sharing that content as though they know it inside out. But, like I said, I've been studying this for 6 years already, and I'm pretty much a natural when it comes to this topic. So for someone to come to me and actually just try to, ramble and try to do something like that, I can see right through it, because there's a specific way, things are phrased when you've actually gone through it, as opposed to somebody who's just pretty much sharing theory, which, it's not bad in its entirety, when somebody shares theory, because, theory is still in of itself, helpful. You hear, pretty much this is theory, because, I'm not there with you. I'm not there with you in person, so I can't necessarily tailor what I'm saying right now to, to your own particular situation. So pretty much I'm giving you a theoretical understanding of the concept so that you're able to understand it, and then you're able to go and adjust it accordingly and implement it into your own life. That's pretty much the purpose of all these videos. So theory in of itself is not bad. However, it becomes problematic when somebody tries to not be honest with that fact that, okay, you know what, I'm just sharing theory. I've never actually tested this. I've never tried this for myself, so I don't know if it works, but I heard that it worked for this other person, this other individual, and stuff like that. They're not honest with that. They pretty much just share the content as though they actually lived through it, they have experience with it, and that it works for them, and because it works for them, it should work for you, and that's completely wrong. Anybody that says that, well, what one person can do, the other person can do it as well, that's a lie. No, you can't. There's certain things that only one person in this planet can do, and that you'll never be able to do it just as good as they can. You might get close, but you'll never actually get there, because every single person has a gift. Every single person has something that they're really good at, and once they're able to tap into that potential to its fullest, and that may require years of practice, years of training, years of just mental preparation, they're going to get something that you don't. And this doesn't even come down to skill. It just comes down to the time that they spend, the devotion that they spend, the experiences that they had, the people that they went to, the resources they had access to throughout their journey. And so it's almost impossible to replicate the end result, because of all that journey, you would have to replicate that entire same journey. At the same time, you would have to have the same commitment, the same hunger, the same ambition as that other person as well. And that's something that you can't really replicate, because that's something that always comes natural to the person. Every single person has their own personal ambitions and passions and their own motivations and reasons to do things. And so there's that. And so this is why I don't necessarily like people who, preach positivity. They say to look at the good side of things and all this and that, because here's the thing, like, for the most part, for someone who's actually working on themselves, for someone who's actually out there, grinding and putting in the work, for the most part, they're not necessarily in a positive mood for the most part. They're stressed, they're struggling, they're frustrated, they're angry, they feel like the whole world is collapsing, and they're just constantly in this state of paranoia where things are just not working out, but they need them to work out, because they have goals, they have that ambition, they have that end purpose, but it's just not happening. And so putting yourself in that situation, it's very hard to just feel positive 100% of the time. So all these people that say, oh, they're 100% of the time they're positive, that means that they're themselves. Those are the people you have to stay away from, because somebody who's positive 100% of the time is pretty much not putting in the work. They're not actually putting themselves on the line. They're not stepping out of their comfort zone enough in order to, put themselves in such a situation where their entire positivity is compromised. And that's pretty much the difference between somebody who actually implements and somebody who doesn't. Somebody who actually implements personal development, they're constantly putting themselves on the line. They're constantly purposefully putting themselves in positions of struggle, and this struggle is going to require and demand for them to use that personal development. And that's how you actually implement personal development, as opposed to most people who pretty much just pick little easy things to do, and then they try to use personal development, and then of course they succeed because it's easy. It's not something that's really pushing them outside of their boundaries. It's something that it's still going to make them look good, and so that's really what it's all about at the end of the day with these fake people who preach positivity and stuff, they're just doing it for, the fame, the status, the recognition. They just want to be, recognized as somebody that's positive and someone that's good, and as a good person, as a positive person. Look, who cares? Who cares? And if you're this type of person, you gotta really pay attention and see what actually matters. Does it matter more to you that other people think that you're the positive person? Do you really care about that? Or do you care about actually being positive? Do you actually care about you yourself being positive? Because there's a difference between you, putting up this front and trying to trick everybody that you're living the positive life. And there's this other one where you just don't really care if people think that you're positive or not, but you internally, know that you're a positive person, and that you're able to reframe all these situations that are currently happening in your life, to become positive. And reframing to positivity is actually much, much, much harder than actually just pursuing positivity, because, reframing, it's pretty hard. Like maybe you invested $2,000-3,000 into something and it didn't work out and you just lost that money. Like, how are you supposed to feel positive about that, right? And so that can be pretty complicated. You can't just throw in some positivity and just be like, oh, it's gonna be okay, right? Especially if you were short on money, it's gone. Like $3,000 gone, right? But if you have the strength to reframe that and be like, okay, you know what, I lost the $3,000. Oh well, I mean, that's pretty much a loss, but in a positive light, I actually learned something about losing these $3,000. I learned about not investing in that particular situation, or maybe I will invest in that situation again, but maybe I got to do it a little bit differently, take different steps. Maybe I had to do it with a different person. Maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe this was wrong. Maybe that was wrong. And you're able to dissect and really find out what went wrong. That way you don't lose that same amount of money in the future. And so you can treat it as a learning lesson, and then at that point, it becomes something positive. But that's something that's very hard to do. Even right now, I just said it, right? But if you were actually in that situation, believe me, the emotions get, very tense. You get very heated, and that's really the point of personal development. Personal development is its most effective when you're feeling those hard, tense emotions. When you're in a place of, it's chaotic. You feel like you're losing it. That's really where personal development really comes in. That's really where your skills of psychology really come in. And the thing is that all these people, these fake people who pretend to be in this, personal development arena, they don't constantly put themselves in that situation where they're paranoid, they're scared, they're panicking, because that's really stepping out of your comfort zone. That's really when you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And of course, you want to choose these things deliberately. Obviously, you don't want to go put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable for no reason either. Obviously, your time is limited, so you have to develop a purpose, and then of course, step out of your comfort zone. But in order to achieve that purpose, so if you're like a musician or something, maybe you need to go and talk to somebody. You want to become a really good performer on stage. Well, then you're gonna have to start making some calls and try to get yourself on stages, and perhaps you're gonna get rejections here and there. You're stepping out of your comfort zone, but you're stepping out of your comfort zone for a good purpose, because you want to get on those stages, and that's really your dream. So it makes sense, and because of that, it's very likely that you'll be able to stay in the journey longer. You'll be able to take a bunch of rejections because you have a very strong purpose that you want to get on those stages. So, that purpose is going to keep you grinding, through those rejections. And of course, you can use personal development to, help you with that and help you actually get through those times that are tough, and also help educate yourself along the way too, because a lot of people feel very entitled to the things that they're doing. They feel like they deserve the entire world, where in fact you don't deserve anything. You really don't deserve anything. You're not special. You're not cut from a different cloth. You're not special really in any particular way. I don't know why people think that they're special. Pretty much everything that you want in this life, you have to go and earn it. And you earn it through education. You earn it through, through your effort, through your mindset, and just you having that belief that you actually deserve it as well. And so, yeah. So pretty much, if you have these type of people around you that are constantly, throwing stuff at you, like to be positive, to keep going and stuff, but they themselves are not actually doing it, don't listen to these people. And if you can, stay away from them. If you're able to cut them off, just cut them off entirely, because there's no point of having those people around you. It doesn't matter if they're just, injecting positivity in you. Like, if they themselves are not implementing, if their lives don't inspire you, if their lives in of themselves don't make you feel a little bit more positive, then what's the point? Don't listen to these people, because nothing good of them can come, because you just don't feel inspired by them. And so, by that same token, if you're this person right now that's currently pursuing personal development, but you're pursuing it just to feel better by yourself and to put up a front in front of other people, trying to let other people know that you're into the personal development area, that you're into like the success and positivity, think about it again, because that in of itself, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter when, you're by yourself, somewhere, like in your house or somewhere, right? You're by yourself and you can't really ask nobody for help, because, all this time you've been this like positive person who pretty much has the entire world under their control, right? But dark times will come and you will find yourself alone and having nobody to really, ask for help, because remember, you're the positive guy, right? You don't necessarily need the help, right? And so that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. We're exposing those fake personal development people. And the reason why I wanted to expose them is because there's a lot of them. You're going to find a lot of them in your life, and you have to get rid of these people. And also, here on YouTube, I can definitely tell you guys that there's a few people here on YouTube who are just not, they're not doing it properly, which is why I even started this channel, because I was getting frustrated at how badly some of these YouTubers actually deliver personal development and how they try to inspire you and stuff. But it's all like, it's all generic. It's all like things that are already out there. There isn't anything like that's concrete. There's nothing new. There's nothing refreshing. There's no strategies. There's no tactics. Nothing like that. That's actually, something that feels genuine. And so that's why I created this channel. And yes, when you come to my channel, perhaps you're watching this information and you might find things that you've never heard before in your life or spoken about in any channel. And that's because, this is genuine. This is what I've actually experienced. And I also don't script any of my videos. All my videos are raw, and I'm pretty much coming up with the content as I go. All I really know before I start the video is what it's going to be about. I have a title in mind, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, I don't script. I don't prepare anything. I have no notes, because I want the video to be as raw as possible. That way you get the true experience and the genuine experience of the Amaya Lewis. Anyway, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification icon, and make sure you hit that that like button, of course, and comment down below if there's a specific topic that you want me to cover here on the channel. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.